Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Aventurine Listener by me. So let's get into it. Aventurine was a very doting partner. That was something you've known for as long as you've known him. He was someone who made his intentions very clear, especially in a relationship. Sometimes he could be difficult to understand, with all of his scheming and the way he was able to lie very well. But he had no reason to do that with you, when all he desired was a serious and honest relationship. He desired love, and lies, they didn't have a place in that. So instead, he was honest, and being this to herself meant also spoiling you all the time, since that's what you love doing most. So when one day he's feeling particularly demanding, and that he misses you very much, he decides to actually tell you about that. In his own way, of course. It's not like he would go up to you and tell you right away. That is so unlike him. Instead, as the evening sun cast a warm glow through the curtains, and his thoughts, fleeting, crossed his mind, you and Aventurine found yourself sitting on the same couch. As Aventurine just had that plan on his mind, you were somewhat busy today, but Aventurine did not want you to be. Instead, he wanted you to spend the rest of the day with him, to cuddle with him, and to hold him close. And right now, he knew he would get that if he just knew the way to do it. And that meant, as quietly as possible, he leaned against you, and then soon enough, it was his head on your lap as you curled up on the couch, smiling, and you smiled softly. The two of you enjoying the other's presence, limbs entwined in a comfortable embrace, the soft hum of the television filling the room with background noise that neither of you were paying much attention to. It didn't matter what was truly playing or what was going on. What mattered was this moment, an Aventurine lying on your lap. He leaned his head back against you, his eyes closed in contentment. You know, Ion, I could stay like this forever, he says, his voice barely above a whisper, and you smiled down at him, running your fingers through his hair. I wouldn't mind that at all, he replied, the affection in your voice unmistakable. You chuckled softly, and then he opened his eyes, gazing up at you in absolute adoration. So I'm guessing you wouldn't mind if I stayed the entire day. Well, I guess not. It's not so terrible of a proposal. He chuckles and nods. Yeah, it's not. It's unlike you to agree so easily, though. What happened to you? I'm a bit worried you're not being yourself. It's nothing. I guess I just realized how much I miss you. So I guess we could take a break. We could. You know, I could really fall asleep like this. This is perfect, he whispers, as you run your fingers through his hair, and you find yourself smiling softly. Then too, you're encouraged, continuing to stroke his hair in a soothing motion. I'll be right here when you wake up, so feel free. He smiled up at you, a look of pure adoration in his eyes. You meant the world to him, and you could see that, just from the way he looked at you, like you were everything he had. The reality that may have been true as well, but that's not something that either of you dwelled on. Instead, you dwelled on the beauty of your love. And as he looked at you, he saw a reason to wake up the next morning, a reason to keep going, a reason to go to bed and hope for a better tomorrow, because right now he had someone to share it with. I love you, he whispered, his voice filled with warmth and affection, and your heart melted at the way he said it. I love you too, you replied, leaning down to press a soft kiss to his forehead. And in that moment, surrounded by warmth and love, he knew there was nowhere else in the world he would rather be. And little did he know, Aventurine was also having his own realizations. He was happy, more than glad to be able to have this, to experience this bliss. And as the minutes passed, Aventurine's breathing slowed, his body gradually relaxing against your lap, and you watched him with a soft smile, peeling a wave of tenderness wash over you. His presence brought you a sense of peace and comfort that you couldn't find anywhere else. And lost in the tranquility of the moment, you let your mind wander, reflecting on the journey you and Aventurine had taken together. From the moment you met, there had been an undeniable connection between you, a bond that only grew stronger with time. Through laughter and tears, triumphs and challenges, you had stood by the other side, supporting and loving one another unconditionally. It was something he'd never thought he would have, not after losing his family like this, and not after what he's been through in his life. But you just came and flipped everything on its head and proved to him so many things he never believed in, just like the idea of love and of finally finding your home in someone else.